1. You got to say something, man.
I thought you were starting it. Sorry.
Why?
I don't know, because you did the last ones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I had a nice non sequitur lined up for those ones. For this one, it's all business.
It's all sequitur.
It's all business today because we started.
We have started.
We've got the fucking game out.
Okay, so we have also started the podcast.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's why we're recording. Yeah, that's what the mic's for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started the game. We started SPI's, the campaign for North Africa. Started in a loose sense. We've taken the game out the box. We've started punching out the game pieces.
Yeah, we've destroyed its resale value, so now we're committed to this.
Yeah, we can't trade that one back in. No refunds.
Yeah.
Don't even get refunds for it anyway. It's very old. It's very bespoke. Yeah, we've now punched the pieces out. The game is afoot. We've taken out all my pieces that I'll need for the start of the game anyway.
Yeah, you made the decision not to punch the Nazis, which...
Yeah, well, we don't need to punch the Nazis yet. That'll be in about a year or two. That will punch the Nazis.
All right, and then punch with a vengeance.
Yeah, I want to punch the Nazis. Don't get me wrong. We've also just kind of delved straight into it, and we've probably got loads of people who've just jumped in now, and they're like, what is going on here? And what is going on here? So we are doing a podcast, as you can probably tell by the sound of our voices beamed into your ears. The idea of the podcast is me, James, and you, Andy, is it? Yeah, you, Andy.
Yep.
We're going to be playing a board game for the next 8 years, probably longer based on today's antics.
Yeah,
And
we're not going to be getting the recommended times, I don't think.
No, we're really not. The board game is the very long and infamously unfinished board game, SPI's, the campaign for North Africa. It's a big old war game. It's really complicated, and we're going to finish it, and we've started playing it today. We started playing in the sense of we've tried little practice runs of parts of the rules that we thought we understood. We did understand some of it. We got some of it right.
Yeah, there were a bit of clarity on certain things, but the overall stuff we seem to have picked up all right. So we ran through movement through terrain specifically, so working out how much it costs to move things around, breakdowns, fuel requirements.
Yeah, all the fun nitty-gritty parts of desert warfare. Got all the pieces out, punching out the game pieces, because there's 1,600 of the little bastards. That took us, 2 hours? Just to get them out the box, get them all out. Then we had to organise them all into little trays. So that was...
Still need more organisation, I think. But that's going to be an ongoing battle throughout the whole game.
Yeah, and it must really cut you up that mine were better organised than yours.
I mean, it doesn't thrill me, but you never know. Next time you come round, perfectly organised.
I'm going to be able to track mine down straight away. I'm going to be like the Rain Man of this game. I'll be able to just look at the tray and go, there's the camel units.
Yes, we did get a bit of... No, we didn't. We got more information about the camels. We didn't get much more clarity.
Did we mention the camels last time?
We mentioned it with the Echo of War guys.
Yes,
when
that's
we
right.
asked them about, why there were rules for camels. And they seemed to be as confused as we were.
Yeah, so there's a rule about camels. It says you can ship dead camels in planes, but not living camels. And I agree with that fundamentally. But I don't understand the role that camels play in the game. I know it's in the desert, but I just didn't understand when the camels show up or what they do. I know what camels do, and actually I don't really know what camels do in real life. I know that you can get on them, and they've got humps.
Yeah, they're just horses for the desert.
Desert horses, okay. Well, in the game, turns out I actually have a camel unit, and I'm really excited to play them.
A single unit of camels. And I guess if I kill them, I can then ship the dead camels anywhere I want on a plane.
What, just to taunt me? You sick fuck.
There's nothing to use them for when they arrive, so I guess, yes, I'm just transporting dead camels.
Just a trophy for you to brandish when you fly back to Cairo.
Yeah.
My men.
It's not really intimidating having a camel's head on a spike.
I mean, it's...
It's confusing. I don't know why you do it, but it's not going to terrify anyone.
People are scared of the unknown, Andy. That will terrify a lot of people. Mostly the citizens of Cairo, I would imagine. When you come back, start putting camel heads on the gates of Cairo. I'm now picturing Cairo apparently as some
Walled city.
Walled city, yeah. It's one very, very medieval. Yeah, so we've figured out parts of the game just through play. It's long. It's going to take so long. We did a practice, like you say, with the movement rules and the what else did we do? We've done
Fuel consumption.
so little, and I've forgotten the little that we've done. We've been doing this for like 10 hours, and we've got so little to show for it.
We do have a bunch of Excel stuff set up. We did a lot of like bookkeeping.
That's the whole game. The whole game is bookkeeping.
So in that sense, we did about 6 hours of bookkeeping and a few hours of playing, which seems to be the ratio.
And we didn't even play though. We just sort of went, well, this is what the rules should be, and then we just referred back to the rules over and over. And it really didn't feel like progress, but I do still feel like I've learned something. I know a little bit about how the game works, a little bit more, compared to previous.
I mean, we put the game map out. It's the first time I've seen the full thing, not like in pictures.
Yeah, it went all over the floor.
Yes.
It's long. It's really long.
I did spend a good chunk of yesterday moving furniture around because it's too big.
I did come in here this morning and it was barren. It was just... And it turns out we actually made more space... Well, sorry, you made more space. I didn't help with the furniture at all. It turns out we didn't even need as much space as you cleared.
No, it's not as tall as we thought.
Yeah, tall in the sense of wide. We never thought it was going to be tall because it's paper.
Sure. For God's sake.
You said it. Why would it be tall? Do you know how board games work? It's called a board for a reason.
I guess deep then.
Oh, sorry. Do you think this is a tall game we're going to be playing? Apparently so.
I guess I did.
Wow. I'm playing against a moron.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not as deep as I thought it would be.
What do you mean it's really deep? It really cuts into the heart of the conflict, the complexity that these people went through to try and navigate the desert environment in wartime. It's really deep.
Okay, so it's
not tall.
It's not tall.
It's definitely not tall.
It's very deep, but not in the directional sense.
In the profound sense.
Okay.
It's got a lot of weight to it.
No, it's made of paper. If you're going to do that to me, I'm doing it to you.
Oh, welcome to Andy's funny Oh no, edit.
No,
I can cut that out. I edit this. I'm allowed to cut it out. So, yeah. Now we need a good part where it just sounds normal again. So, tall? It can't be tall, Andy. It's a board game.
But it is deep as hell, eh?
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I'm gonna keep in the mistake. I'm not having you take that golden joke. So now, I suppose what's next? We're gonna have to keep on doing these little trial runs.
Yeah, we're gonna do a combat trial run next, and an air combat trial run.
More like a trial by combat. I'm gonna show up to your house with a rapier. Gonna duel you.
Interesting weapon choice.
Yeah, I'd be a master swordsman with a rapier.
You wouldn't. I think you'd be bad with a rapier.
Cutlass? How about that? Like a pirate?
I think you're just a guy who sort of tops out with a spear.
Whoa, don't knock the spear.
I'm not. It's incredibly easy to use for peasants and the like.
Peasants? No. I'm thinking more sort of like Roman, shield fighters, where you got the shield turtle. Is that right?
The shield turtle.
Don't look at me like that. Don't ever look at me like that again. You know where they've got the shields.
Yes.
All around them.
Yes.
Turtle-like. And then you poke your spears through.
Yeah, so you're going to be one of them. You're going to come round to my house with a Roman shield and a spear.
Yeah, I'm going to be a centurion. So not really sure what retort you've got to that. Because just looking around, I don't really think you've got anything in here to defend against that tactic.
No, it would be surprisingly hard to fight a guy with a big shield in a narrow corridor.
Yeah, I'm gonna corner you in your corridor with a spear. Apparently, I'm delirious after spending 10 hours. 2 of which, at the very start, is just punching out pieces of cardboard, really, really small pieces of cardboard as well, and then trying to find a way to organize something that I don't understand.
I mean,
But it worked.
It did work.
It worked. I've got a great organizational system. I've created the Dewey Decimal System of this game.
I assume because you've used that as the touch point, you're an expert in library sciences, and you know what the Dewey Decimal System is.
Yeah. I do. So the idea for the campaign, for the campaign for North Africa next, is we're going to try and play the small mini scenario, because the game is meant to take 111 turns, and there's a little small scenario in it, sort of like a mini game, and it only takes 6 turns. Each turn's meant to take 10 hours. I reckon it's going to take us about 20 hours per turn.
For the setup, yeah.
Yeah, for this practice one.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the practice one, the 6 turns, and then when we've done that and we've got an idea as to how the game is meant to work properly, we're going to go back to the start. We're going to do all 111 turns in a row. We're going to finish it. And see, the problem is we came across a liar earlier today, didn't we?
Did we?
We did. That man who says he finished it, and he didn't finish it. He played 5 turns of it.
Okay, so we're just calling people out.
Some rapscallion. We'll not name him. We'll not. Mostly because I can't remember his name. Otherwise, I'd call him out right now. Send the mob after him. But no, somebody had my heart sank, honestly, when I thought that someone had finished it. And we were just going to be second best. Still a podium finish, second place. But turns out this individual hasn't actually finished the whole game. They've just played a few turns of it, and they've taken the credit from some people who've commented on their post, going, "Oh, well done. Really pleased that you finished the game. Congrats." You didn't finish the game. You played the game.
You're focused on the wrong things.
I want to be first. Don't want to be second.
I get that, but also...
The really disheartening part was the fact that I found that out as I was punching out those pieces of cardboard. We were like an hour into doing that. And then I came across what I thought was somebody completely nullifying the whole fucking project.
This is all pointless.
Yeah, basically. And at that point, we'd already vandalized the game in the sense of we can't just sell it off to some collector who wants it. So, thankfully, no, we haven't been beaten to the punch.
No.
That would have... I would have taken it out on you, probably. So,
I do have some complaints with SPI and their associated folk.
well, SPI, the people who made the game, they dissolved, I think, like 20 years ago. So these complaints, you're going to have to just read them out and hope that some former employee of SPI's is listening and they can take it to heart.
Yeah, this is a sort of rude eulogy for a company.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the epitaph of SPI.
Well, we were making the log sheets, which were very confusing. But it does handily have a list of the different sections in it and explains what they did. And they're ordered. A, E, F, D, G, C, B. That's the alphabetical ordering of their description of the log sheets.
Well, that's that pop song. That's the one where they're like, oh, fuck your dog. As in, like, you know, oh no, is it? No, it's fuck you and your friends. Oh, maybe it's accept your dog. No, it's accept your dog. Yeah. So there's a song. No. So the joke I was going. You're so confused. I can see that. The joke is that there is a song and it's just the first few letters of the alphabet is the title. And yeah, sorry.
But my complaint is that
they're not in order.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It was a bad joke, and I'm really sorry I've thrown you off by mentioning a pop culture element you've clearly got no experience with.
No.
You don't know that song.
No.
I don't really know it either because I've misquoted it. But please continue.
Okay. I mean, that was the main. But actually, shockingly, intuitive when you're going through stuff if there's not addendums or direct contradictions that are fixed in attached printer paper.
Oh, yeah, that's the annoying thing, is that when we bought the game, we opened up the box and found not just the actual original game in pretty much mint condition, but as well as that, somebody, the previous owner of the game, had printed off, 9 sheets of paper from some website in 2007, because it's dated at the bottom. And it's a list of 9 pages worth of amendments to the rules that either don't make sense or are just completely incorrect. And I found out today as well, when we were going through the rules, there's also an addenda section in the actual rules themselves.
Yeah, that, again, frustrated me, because if it's in the same rule book, don't make an addendum, fix the body of the text.
But the thing took 2 years to make, so the poor guy by the end, he's probably just as lost as we were reading it. So he's like, I'll just stick this in at the end. I know it's wrong. He's probably made some sticky notes as he was going through. And, back then, we're talking late 70s, they couldn't just amend it the same way we've been amending our digital notes. It was set in stone. Literally stone tablets. That's how the rules were carved out initially. And then they, I suppose, photocopied it.
And sent it to a printer.
Yeah.
Who then put addendums. Why are they not... I don't...
Because whoever made that game... we've got the designers' names. That wasn't a threat, by the way. That sounded real eerie for a minute. We've... we know who it is. The names are plastered all over it. They take quite a bit of pride in the, I think, cruelty that exists within the game rules. They taunt you through the whole thing. When you're reading it, there are sections where they just openly apologise for the game being so difficult.
Yeah, or they just go, why are you doing this?
I really do wonder that, to be fair.
I do feel we've fallen for a practical joke.
We have, but we're both the people who set the joke up.
No, that was SPI.
Well, we've been baited by this, 50-year-old whoopee cushion of a board game.
Just sent a prank into the future. No expectation they'll ever see it. Just laughing at themselves sending these stone tablets to the printers.
Someone was going to do it eventually. Thankfully, it's too dedicated, charismatic.
Oh, some other people doing the podcast.
I was waiting for that. You had that. Yeah, I set it up. I'm glad you hit it out the park. So we've started playing. We've punched the pieces out. Not the Nazis. We're going to punch them later. And we've figured out the board isn't. I mean, it is really long. It's like 10 feet long, but we can play it. We know for a fact we've got the space for it. We've got the mental fortitude to try to play it, and we've got the promise of the loser buying the winner a meal at the end of all this to look forward to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot on the table, and now it's real.
I guess, yeah, it is. Start getting into some impressions based on what we did about playing. It seems roads and tracks are going to be incredibly important. Because you either slug through the desert and your car breaks down and you barely move, or you just whiz around on roads, it seems.
You sound like a man who's just uncovered public transport for the first time.
I didn't think it was going to be that... This is, again, me being deeply not aware of history. I thought, they're in the desert, you just go where you want to go. I didn't think you'd need, tracks.
You can't just drive through the dunes.
I mean, you can, but apparently you get lost.
Yeah, well, we found out the rules are if you drive through the desert and there's no roads, your vehicles just break down. That's part of the game. And then they're just left out in the desert.
Because there's abandoned vehicle tokens, which I feel we're going to be using more than the designers of the game intended.
Well, then the designers, those cheeky monkeys, they've got a little section in there where it says, try not to scatter these abandoned vehicle markers all across the board. And it's like, well, first of all, we're playing the game, so we can scatter these as far and wide as we wish. But two, so you've built a rule set in.
Give us advice.
It's not really practical advice, is it? It's just like, oh, don't don't be messy when you're playing the game. It's like, I'll be messy if I want to when I'm playing the game. It's my desert game.
So we're essentially going to turn the North African desert into a junkyard.
Yeah. We're going to really try and skip forward from 1940, which is when it's set. And we're going to try and sort of speed run just polluting the desert and natural environments. Because back then, it wasn't half as bad as it is now. So we're going to have to really catch up so that we feel at home.
Yeah. I mean, because we're at home in junk and trash.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think that says more about us than anything about the desert.
Yeah.
Big, broad desert. Stretches out really far. Really big. Really sandy. Pyramids. Oh, the pyramids are there, actually. Are there any rules about visiting the pyramids?
Yeah, you get a morale boost.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Pyramids are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been personally, but I've heard lots of stories.
Don't really even want to.
Yeah, you don't want to? You don't want to go to the pyramids?
I've seen mountains. I don't care if a guy made one.
It wasn't a guy, it was a lot of guys. And they don't know how they made them. I mean,
slavery.
Yeah, sorry, there is a definitive answer to that. It's slavery.
Hard work.
Hard work, yeah. Hard labour, long hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is an answer, and you've got it there.
Yeah.
So
it's more depressing than Aliens. It adds less whimsy to the world.
It's not. I don't like it when people say it was Aliens. There's no rationale behind that. It's not aliens, it's slaves.
Well, you look at it, you go, that looks difficult. I probably couldn't do it. So it's Aliens.
Yeah, because you haven't been forced to.
I think also it would be fair if someone was forcing me to build a pyramid, they'd get a really shitty pyramid. A really low, badly built pyramid.
Just really spite them. Just like, well, if you're going to make me do this, I'm going to do such a crappy job. Instead,
I think I'd be earnestly trying.
Oh, right. I thought you meant out of spite. You're just not very good at building. Right. Well, I mean, yeah, they did a swell job with the pyramids. They really did. They didn't have to. I mean, I wouldn't have blamed them for not, because they probably didn't want to. Wouldn't have been great.
No. Although there's not much going on back then.
I mean,
just globally.
Globally,
yeah,
nothing going on back then.
Not much.
It's just because
Egypt was the happening place.
There wasn't much media coverage at the time, so you probably missed out on all the big stories.
Oh, you think, people were doing a lot of stuff, they just weren't recording it.
Yeah. And that's why we're recording this. We're doing the big stuff. We don't want to be missed out because someone else is building their pyramid and everyone's like, look at that. We need to get this out into the ether.
We don't want people to be listening to this podcast in 1,000 years and be going, this is so good, humans couldn't have done this.
Exactly. We don't want people to think that this was either slaves or aliens. This is us.
Yeah.
This is all earnest. We want to do this, and we're from here. The game, as we've went through the rules, turns out it's a lot more about lying to each other than we first thought.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, we sort of mentioned it a bit last episode, but it's way more than we thought even then.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be pretty much everything on the board. Turns out very little is on the board. Almost everything's on your sheets, which you keep secret.
Yeah, there's 1,600 little game pieces, and at any given time, you're not going to have many because you get these like headquarter units, and they represent usually anywhere between sort of 10 and 15 other units that are included in there. So you just put down this one headquarter unit. So I put down mine. You'll look at it, Andy, and you'll go, well, he's got someone over there in this part of the desert, but you don't know how many there are in there. You don't know if I've got tanks, soldiers, artillery. So if you march over to it, you might find yourself in a fight you just can't possibly win.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is going to be tricking each other.
Well, you can build fake minefields, and you can have fake tanks.
Yes.
So there's a lot of fake outs, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to have you wander on over, saunter in with all your troops, ready to take on my, turns out, wooden tanks. Oh, what a muppet.
Probably win that one.
Yeah, maybe. It's really bad if you don't. There's also the fact that we need to use natural resources. Like I was going to say natural resources like wells. Again, not really natural. Don't naturally occur. But stuff like wells, they can be depleted of their water. But if I deplete them of their water, I don't need to tell you that.
No,
so then,
I might just get there, be like, damn, I'm thirsty. And you've ruined the well. Because there's two ways to ruin it. You can drink all the water out of it.
Yum.
Greedy little boy. Or you can throw salt down there.
I love that. That's a rule.
Yeah.
Because it's referred to as poisoning a well, but then it does later on in the rules say, you're not actually putting arsenic into here.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous to put 50 pounds of arsenic in there. So they just fill it with salt. And it's like, it's also confusing.
You know what? I would probably be more annoyed if I'd been traversing through the desert during a war and then I got to a well. And if I took a big swig of it and it turns out I'm poisoned, I'm like, well, I'm at war. Death was already on the cards. It's horrible, but here it is. But if I took a big gulp and it's just seawater, I'm just like, oh, God, no. What a kick in the teeth.
Like, have you ever, the night after a party or something, took a glass that you thought was water and it's like vodka or something?
I've done that with, I suppose the equivalent that springs to mind for me, because I don't tend to just fall asleep with a glass of vodka by the bedside, unlike some people apparently. In your living room. Also, I've passed out in the living room in this situation. That's worse.
No, you wake up, you walk through, you're like, oh, a glass of water. I'll have a drink.
After a party, you just pick up random glasses of liquid and just swig. Oh, right, okay. Okay. Let's put a pin in that. What my equivalent would be is, when you've made a cup of tea or a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And you leave it for a little while. You don't realise how much time's passed. And then you take a swig and you're like, that's not the temperature I thought that would be. And it's just horrible. And now, see, you don't seem to be bothered by this at all. And I know for a fact, because years ago, I know for a fact that you would make a cup of coffee in the morning, you'd go to work, you'd come back, and that cup of coffee would be sat on the bench, and I'd watch you drink it. And I've never had less respect for another human than when you used to do that. If you still do that now, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
So moving on.
Oh, God.
I don't mind a cold, hot drink.
No, it's not that you don't mind it. It's like you've actively... You've nurtured a situation where you know there's going to be a cold, hot drink.
Well, I drank some of it before work, but then it hadn't cooled down properly, so I had to leave.
You didn't have to leave. You could have got up earlier. You could have made it. You could have mixed in a bit of cold water. There's 1,000 different ways that you didn't have to wait 8 hours to then drink freezing cold coffee. And again, it's coffee. You've got home from work. You shouldn't be having caffeine that late.
I used to think I was an insomniac, so I'd be like, I'm not going to sleep anyway. Turns out it was the coffee.
Of course it's the coffee you're drinking. It was a huge mug as well. It was like a novelty-sized mug that you used to be drinking from.
Yeah, it was a good mug.
Do you still have that mug?
Somewhere.
Oh, I've not seen it in a little while. I remember it being horribly stained. Like, the inside was just... It was just black. And it was a white mug, so it shouldn't have been.
It wasn't that bad.
Do you still have the mug I got you?
I do have that mug. I can't use it. And I almost gave it to my mum once.
That would have been very good. For context, the mug I got Andy a mug, and it's colour changing. So you pour your hot water in, and once you've poured in the hot water, the solid black mug slowly starts to shift and reveals a picture of it's a naked man with everything hanging out. So the idea of your mum being given that, it feels like you're just making some sort of horrible pointed attack on her if you're handing her that mug. Any guest that you give that mug to, you clearly don't like them very much. You're making them the butt of a joke.
Yeah, the thing is, you've given me a mug I, one, don't want to drink out of, but two, no one else can.
Yeah, no one should be drinking from that.
No.
You should probably get rid of it, to be honest.
I'll keep it and eventually give it to someone.
Oh, as a gift?
Yeah, maybe you'll get it for Christmas in a few years.
That would be a great Secret Santa present.
If you want to get fired.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you've You've got to hope that they don't use it there and then, certainly. That they maybe take it home and then they can enjoy the joke in private in their own home. You can't really do that in the office, can you? No, it's not going to fly.
No.
But this is our office. This is our workspace. This is where we're going to be grinding away, working hard hours. But today was one of the longest we're going to have because it was a good 10 hours straight of this. And we're probably only going to be doing this for sort of 4 hours at a time. This was a real bumper session where we managed to bash out all of those little rule concerns we had, start trying them out. And we're going to do another one next week as well, where we go over it. Yeah, we go over the combat side of stuff, have a little fight in the desert.
Yeah. And then we're planning to kick off next Friday. The game begins.
Yeah, the actual game itself, we're gonna the trial run, the 6-turn trial run is what we're gonna try next week.
Yeah, and that's so we can work out the rules, and with all the deception and stuff, that'll be more open, figure everything out.
Yeah,
then go into a proper game.
We need to figure out how to lie to each other.
Yes,
because at the moment the relationship we have is so transparent, it's hard to fathom. We're gonna have to learn to lie to each other.
Yes, learn.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
Good. Right. That's
excited.
Well, you're already doing it. You're already lying because I can see the pain in your eyes. You don't mean that.
I do.
Right.
You've misread this situation.
Oh, right.
And my eyes.
You've got glasses on. I can't really see them properly.
A layer of deception.
No, it's a layer of glass because your vision's really bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's not going to come in handy. The fact that we both have bad eyesight and these pieces of cardboard are absolutely tiny. And most of them...
the colour of the terrain. You put an Italian infantry unit down and it just disappeared.
Because they've made all of the Italian units this sort of like eggshell, white, beige colour. And the map is meant to simulate the colours of a desert. So blends in really easy. And these pieces must measure like a centimetre, maybe centimetre and a half either side.
Yeah.
So these things are really small.
So 10-foot board, 1 centimetre tiles.
And we both have bad eyesight. Some of your tiles are even worse because it's a black background with yellow font.
Oh, yes, there's some horrible combos.
You flicking through your notes here?
Yes, I did write down the combos to keep track of.
Oh no.
There's red and white. Feels fairly easy.
Okay.
Red and black. Dark red and black.
To differentiate, of course.
Orange and black.
Oh, the program, yeah.
And white and red. So 3 of them are just... I say dark red. They're all the same shade of red, basically. And then 2 of them are flipped.
Oh, and we also found out through the addenda that some of them, as well, are meant to be different types of units. Because all of these little pieces have different codes on that represent what sort of characteristics they're meant to have. Sort of if they're artillery units or if they're headquarter units. And there's, I think, 20 different pieces that are meant to be headquarter units. And they've got this big stripe through them to show that. And 20 of them don't have them.
The stripe.
So we're going to have to go back through my carefully organised and your hastily bundled groups of units and find the ones that are meant to be different headquarter ones. And then...
then what? Because
we can't even do anything. We could stick a bit of something on them. Like a tape or something. Something on the corner.
It's just further trashing.
I mean, at this point, we've got the game, we're playing it. We may as well just highlight them. Does it really matter?
Oh, God. Just with board game collectors screaming.
Oh, fair enough. Punching out the game pieces, they can probably live with that. When we start taking out the Sharpies and just vandalising, going to draw little mustaches and glasses on, give them disguises.
We're going to improve this 50-year-old game.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, they've tried several times over based on all these addendas. I wasn't even trying to amend it or fix it. They were just trying to make it playable.
Yeah. Which they seem to have managed.
I mean, we've got no way of knowing that because all we've done is a practice run with 2 units. And all we did was move them around today and go, oh, yeah, so they've used fuel by doing this. Oh, they've eaten their food.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that doesn't really prove that the game works.
Yeah. Well, it's never been fully play tested by the people who made it either. So for all we know, there's like an issue that just cumulatively builds up to like turn 105. And then the game becomes unplayable.
Yeah, it's the animosity between you and I. It's going to build to a boiling point.
I mean, it's going to get bad. We're going to be sending proxies in to move our pieces.
Yeah, we're going to have to send in a third party to start playing the game for us. Well, we've been lucky so far in that we've not. I've completely forgot what I was saying. Completely forgot.
Oh, that's boring.
I've been doing this for like 10 hours straight, and oh god, what was it? We've been lucky. What about this has been lucky?
I don't know.
It's
been a lot of very concerning information. A lot of we don't know what we've got ourselves in for. I don't know why you feel lucky.
No, I've got no idea what part of this made me feel lucky. Yeah. Maybe that's why I stopped, because I was about to say something I just didn't believe. My brain just, no, shut it down. Shut it down.
I mean, I think if we'd taken the time to understand the game properly before buying the game and this podcasting equipment, we wouldn't have done it. I think the sophisticated wargamer and the student of history knows enough not to do this.
I suppose what we are lucky with, and this isn't what I was going to say because that's completely gone, is that no one has finished it before. That's the only real selling point we've got. That's what's driving me to be first. I
mean, yeah. So if someone finishes it before, are we just abandoning?
Could that happen?
I mean, maybe.
Someone could finish it.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be possible or we can't.
But, like, they could finish it soon.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really committed to something.
No!
And you're not even going to get what you want out of it.
Oh, no. I don't want to do it.
Because also you're like, oh, are they going to finish it soon? Is any time in the next 9 years soon?
Yes. I would say that's soon, relative to the board game. Because that's how long it's going to take us, if not longer.
Okay,
so yeah, that's
then,
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You've ruined my night.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. It's so late as well. It's close to midnight. Been playing this game for far too long. Not even playing it, just trying to understand this game.
We've been making Excel spreadsheets and reading rules.
Punching out little pieces of cardboard.
Yeah, we've destroyed a piece of gaming history and gone on Google Sheets for hours.
My favourite part was when you were working away on the Excel spreadsheets to keep track of the game that we're going to be playing for a decade, more or less. And I was just punching out the little game pieces. And I got them all out, and I was so proud after finishing that and getting all of the pieces punched out. And you were just sat there stressing over the log sheets, trying to figure out how we're meant to document all of the stuff that these things need. And then I was just sort of sat around like a spare part for 15 minutes until it was perfected. One of us got the more fun job today. It was a bit like in geography, did you always get to colour in?
Yeah, that is a thing, isn't it? Geography's the colouring in.
Yeah, because after a while I thought, it's sort of like, oh, well, you got your mountains, you've got your desert, topical. You've got, you got rivers. And then they're like, well, that's sort of it. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and talk about the exciting bits, the sort of, things that explode into clouds of flame and rock. And then it's like, well, we'll get you some pictures of them and you can colour them in. And that's geography. Because it's just, it doesn't really change. You don't get new mountains.
Not often.
Because I know you get the whole thing of like, oh, you can get creative and destructive tectonic plates. And it's like, yeah, but you're not going to get a new island anytime soon. You're not going to get new geography. It's worse than history for that.
I mean, you get new history every day.
You get new history every day, and you've also got people who discover new things about history all the time. We're making history, this is going to be one of those things. No one's colouring us in. But then when it comes to geography, nothing's changing. Of course they're going to colour in. Now, I know what everyone's thinking right now. That's the same with maths, because that's already been figured out. It's all rules. They're all set out. No. But you can play around with it so much. You'd be like, what if I did this with this number? Oh, this is a particularly big triangle. What's the area of this one? What are these angles at? Where is geography? It's, no. Name all of the mountains. Oh, done. Oh, you've got an A.
Yeah, it is kind of a bullshit subject.
They should scrap that, and they should make another subject take its place, another sort of humanities. What's a good one to replace geography? I reckon something to do with space.
Space geography.
Space geography. Because
then you can go to different planets and you keep getting more.
You get to go. Like a school trip.
Yeah, in the future.
No.
In 1,000 years when they're listening to this.
When they're listening to this on Mars.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, that's what Earth was like. Just
no wonder we left.
Just full of cool guys.
Full of idiots.
Just full of bloody good blokes.
Have you ever listened to a file and not respected a planet?
Yeah. That's actually why Pluto was decategorized as a planet.
Oh, its podcast wasn't very good.
Yeah. Very, very hate-filled, full of vitriol. The Plutonians.
Bad people.
Yeah, they're. I don't mean to sort of tarnish a whole species.
No, I do.
But fair enough.
Bad people.
So you're a listener as well, an avid Plutonian podcast listener.
I mean, yeah. And that applies forward. So at any point in time in the future, if anyone settles on Pluto, even just briefly, they're a bad person.
So the planet has like a corrupting presence that makes someone bad just by being there.
Yeah, let's say so.
Yeah, you're not even sure that you...
Well, I just think if you've gone to Pluto, why are you trying to get so far away from Earth? You must be running from something. It's less that Pluto makes you bad and that there's no reason for a good person to go there.
only bad men go to Pluto. Why else would you leave
women.
Earth? Well, I mean men in the sense of mankind. But very inclusive of you to understand that women are also
can be bad too in space.
Only in space. That's a interesting proposition you've got there for space geopolitical relations. Maybe they'll teach that. Maybe you'll be one of the founding fathers of this topic. Who knows?
Yeah, an Aristotle of
space
races.
No, not quite Aristotle. I was thinking
Pluto.
Maybe like
the dog.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. You could be the Pluto the dog of talking about Pluto. That's about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, that is something to aspire to, isn't it?
It's not really.
Yeah.
I think we've pretty much covered all that we can realistically cover.
All right, we're signing off because there's one last thing to do before we sign off.
Is there?
Yes.
What?
This podcast is called War with a Me.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. It's all right. It'll be in the previous episodes, and also they'll see the title if they click on it, unless they've just overheard this from a tannoy in a shopping centre.
If anyone listening, thanks, I guess, bizarre. Play it over the tannoy in a shopping centre and send us proof, and I don't know, do something. Did
you know tannoy is actually a brand name? It's like referring to a vacuum cleaner as a Hoover or a Dyson.
Oh, so they're just speakers.
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah. So you can play it over any speaker. Play this over any speaker. Doesn't have to be a tannoy. Doesn't have to be a Dyson. Don't even think Dyson makes speakers.
Probably do. Or a vacuum that plays music.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would like to see pictures of people listening to this via vacuum cleaner.
We don't have any people smart enough to make those kind of things, though, because everyone's learning about geography.
Well, yes, this is a podcast where we will play the entirety of the campaign for North Africa and abolish geography as a subject.
That's right. We've got 2 agendas now. We're going to be the first to do both of those things. So we'll leave you with that. Don't study geography, and don't try playing this game either. Please don't try and finish the game. I'm not going to be very happy at all about anyone finishing the game. So on that note, we'll head on off. If you do have anything to contribute in terms of questions or remarks or insults or encouragement or determined, you can send that off to... What's the email? We definitely have an email, but I'm not sure on the end of it.
info@warwithamate.co.uk.
.co.uk.
Yes.
There we go. We didn't go for the .com.
No, it costs more.
Yeah, stay away from geography and Pluto. And bye.